Hello guys, so we're back and this is after night 2 of Wrestlemania. So if you haven't seen night 1's recap show, it's on YouTube, it's on my channel. Should have watched that first, but I'm not really going to reference it too much, so you should be alright if you just want to watch part 2. I don't know why you'd be watching part 2 first, but hey ho, here we go. So just going to jump right in. Fiend versus Randy Orton was the first match on the card, so I was really looking forward to this one, and I just think it's a different storyline that they're trying to tell that they haven't told already. And Bray Wyatt, as I've said before, is probably one of the most underrated wrestlers, gimmick-wise and wrestling style-wise, in the whole of the WWE. So it was a nice breath of fresh air to see that he's got a good storyline going with a good dance partner. Obviously, Randy Orton being his dance partner. And they've sprinkled in a little bit of Alexa Bliss as well to try and give it that feminine side edge as well, which is nice. So I was super excited for this. As I said, I'm a big fan of Bray Wyatt's new character and the storyline that he's been going down with the Fiend. They greatly utilised Bliss in the story. The match itself fell a little bit short for me, and I don't just mean in terms of length. It was really good. The entrances were amazing, captivating. The Jack in the Box style was really cool. And then we got into the fact that Alexa Bliss was just going to be covered in blood, black blood, which was like ooze. I don't know if it was meant to be blood, but it looked like blood, dark blood. And this distracted Bray into the fact that he was then going to be RKO'd. Okay, weird way of ending that little storyline, if it is even ended. Normally it would cultivate an ending or some sort of conclusion at WrestleMania. This didn't happen. So yeah, a little bit odd. The match itself, the small short match we did get, was really good. Bray Wyatt as the Fiend was pretty much impervious to a lot of the attacks, or he recovered really quickly, which was new. It was kind of like his version of Undertaker and Kane, where they sit bolt upright, and that was interesting. That was good. Just wanted a bit more, and I probably wanted a better finish than that, to be fair. So yeah, I wanted to score it higher, but it was so short and it was cut abruptly, and no real resolution to the story and no real explanation as to what's going on, which I'm sure will probably be explained further down the line. Gave it a 5 out of 10. Okay, so the next match was Tamina and Natalya, who'd recently won on night 1 the turmoil match to now face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the gold straps. So yeah, Nia Jax actually looked like she was the only wrestler that had got the memo about the pirate theme, which was kind of nice. She had the pirate theme costume on, so that was really good. And yeah, the teamwork from them looked like it improved a lot. They actually look like a solid team now. So I did previously say they were in their infancy. I think they're on the next level now. They looked good. The match had quite a good pace to it. They were equally matched with Tamina and Natalya as well. So that was fun. Natalya, my partner pointed out, this is Stifler's mum, right? From American Pie? No? Okay. She looks a lot like her. And but yeah, decent wrestlers. All 4 of them put on a good show. Great effort from the challengers as well as the champions. One of the absolute highlights was, I think, Nia Jax screaming at Tamina like, "I'm King Kong, bitch." And I really liked that. That was funny. But there was a lot of attitude that seems to be coming through now with Nia Jax, which is great. And obviously with King Kong and Godzilla recently happened, that was referenced by Michael Cole in the commentary. Yeah, there was... and then the response from that obviously was like a kind of Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant body slam style. Not saying obviously that Nia Jax weighs anywhere close to Andre the Giant, but it was that type of, you know, she's saying she's the biggest, she's the giant of the women's division, and then Tamina body slammed her. And she'd been trying to throughout the match, so that was like a mini narrative within the overall story, which I kind of liked as well. So yeah, that was good. She missed with the Superfly snooker. That looked a bit poor. She kind of telegraphed that was going to be missed. But yeah, there was a good finish with the classic bluff of who the legal man / woman is in the match, the old switcheroo. So Shayna Baszler got the tag. It didn't look like Natalya was fully aware of that. She got her in the sharpshooter. Nia Jax looked like she was going to tap, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. And then obviously Shayna sneaks in the back door, rear naked choke, or koklina clutch, I believe they call it. And yeah, it was good. And chokes out Princess Heart for the win. So it was a great match, great finish. Gave that a 7.9 out of 10. There was just a few things they could have tweaked to bump that up to an 8. But yeah, I think 7.9 out of 10 is generous. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, I was really excited about this match just because these two guys put on one hell of a show every time that they put on a show. So, yeah, I was really excited about this fight. Less so about Logan Paul being involved, but it's okay. This one went according to plan. It was good. So, yeah, I had high hopes and they didn't disappoint. I don't really understand fully the Sami Zayn losing his mind, the whole conspiracy theory thing. I guess it's okay. I mean, it's kind of, parts of it were funny, but it was kind of a weak storyline. But he attacked Owens and that leads to a match. And, you know, you attack another wrestler, that kind of is a storyline in itself that leads to a match at the pay-per-view. So, yeah, Owens is probably the only wrestler who could pull off a Stone Cold Stunner who's not called Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, you know, it's good that he's put that into his arsenal along with all the other moves that he does. He's very, very talented, and I'm a big fan of Kevin Owens. And yeah, I just hoped that Logan Paul wasn't a big feature in the match, and it turned out he wasn't. So I was very happy with that. So yeah, straight off the bat, we get a pop-up powerbomb and a brain buster onto the side of the apron as well. So both guys trading high spots galore in this match. I kept thinking that Logan Paul was going to be pulled in, and he looked like he was siding with Owens a little bit during the match, judging by his reactions, but no, we didn't get anything from there. So, yeah, there was a frog splash. We had all the good moves, all the good high spots that you'd expect. KO with an awesome win, really, after an awesome match. I scored the match at 8.6 out of 10 originally, and then we were treated to a Stone Cold Stunner to Logan Paul, which boosted it to a 9. Because if you're going to attack a famous YouTuber who I don't like, then yeah, you're going to get extra points from me. So yeah, 9 out of 10 after original 8.6. It was predictable that was actually going to happen after Sami Zayn snubbed Logan Paul, but hey, there you go. So next up after that was the RVD, Carly and Riddle, 3 dudes segment backstage. I called it that, it's not called that. But yeah, that was quite funny. Riddle trying to talk to the Carly pretending he didn't really understand what was going on. He didn't actually look like he knew who Riddle was, which was hilarious. Then RVD comes in and they do the whole RVD, you know, it's all good. So yeah, that led straight into the Sheamus versus Riddle for the US title. Now, I'm a big Riddle fan. I've liked him since he's come over, and I followed his MMA career as well. So, you know, he's actually legit in the martial arts world, and seeing him transition to wrestling has been really interesting. Again, the build-up for this was simple and effective. He was trying to show Sheamus how to scoop, and Sheamus just picked it up and hit him with it. It's funny, simple, effective. Again, simple, effective storytelling. You attack someone, you piss someone off in wrestling, then you get the subsequent match. So this one was for the title. There was a bit more behind it. Obviously, Sheamus was a little bit feeling underappreciated, and he voiced that in the build-up as well. But I didn't expect Sheamus to get the nod or the win, so that was exciting. But can we just quickly address that Riddle is Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter? It's Tom Riddle. No one's addressed this. No? Okay, no one cares. Not a Harry Potter fan. That's no problem. So, yeah, so there was some massive high spots in this. I mean, there was a top rope belly-to-belly suplex at one point, which was a great spot. Really good from both guys. The two styles that they had, the different styles, really, really complemented each other. You had Sheamus, who was obviously the big brute, the Irish, you know, fighter against the flamboyant, over-the-top Riddle. So that was really good. And there was also correct me if I'm wrong with this one, because I might have this name of the move wrong, but I think there was a suicide sunset flip to the outside. I think that's what the move was. But yeah, his endless high-flying repertoire was super impressive to me. And yeah, I mean, there was only one hiccup. I think that was from Sheamus, and he had him in like a top rope. I can't remember the slam name, but it's like a reverse body slam where he's behind him, almost like a Samoan drop, and then he's dropped fireman carry, but he's down here. I can't remember what the name of that move is. I'm normally quite good with those, but yeah, slight hiccup there where it looked like they were going to fall, but Sheamus caught himself. Great balance, veteran move, and yeah, smashed him, and then went top rope himself. So he was obviously incensed with Riddle's you know, onslaught of attack, and he dropped his own knee from the top, which was great, going airborne. And yeah, the finish was really, I mean, 100% original. Don't think I've ever seen anything like this before in my life. So it looked like Riddle was going for a backflip almost lion salt, and Sheamus was up, and Sheamus caught him mid-flip with a brogue kick, and I mean, Christ, that was amazing. Actually cut him up, which added to the drama, but yeah, it was really, really good. I scored that match an 8.4 out of 10. It was awesome. A lot of these matches were over too soon. I don't know if any of you felt that way, or maybe it was just the pace of the matches, but they felt like they were over really quick, maybe because they were really good. But yeah, after that match, there was a nice, funny cutscene. I'm not sure if people in the US saw the cutscene when we saw it, but you've probably seen the advert anyway. And Triple H has a gift for my favourite rapper, Bad Bunny. Yeah. And in it is a nice skull dildo for Bad Bunny. So that's fucking hilarious. And I found that really funny. Really pointless too. After that, we had Apollo Crews versus Big E. So Apollo Crews is now Black Panther, apparently, which is absolutely hilarious. Now, let's dive into that a little bit more. So, yeah, no one cared about his personality before, and now all of a sudden he's watched Marvel Black Panther, and that's who he is. He comes from Wakanda. He's saying it's Nigeria, but it's Wakanda. And he's head tribesman, something, family, I don't know. He's the fucking Black Panther, all right? He's ripping that off from Marvel. He just doesn't have the costume. Big E, on the other hand, can't be New Day anymore. He needs to be Big E. His wrestling attire still looks like he's part of New Day. He still hangs out with them in segments. He came out with them in the beginning. I get it that you're friends, and Triple H was in DX, but Triple H was still fucking Triple H. You know, he wasn't stigmatized as this tag guy, and Big E needs to move away from that. That's literally the crux of it. He needs to not be tag team Big E anymore. He needs to be more than that. So yeah, that's something he needs to work on. I feel both of these guys, their characters at the moment, a little bit lacking, but their in-ring ability is phenomenal. Really is phenomenal. So yeah, he looks like he's got a foot in each pool at the moment. He's a singles guy, but he's also still New Day. He needs to make that decision and go full Big E. I think it was something Chris Jericho recently said in the Broken Skulls session, that, you know, he needed to reinvent himself. You're still going to be Chris Jericho, you're still going to be Big E, but you just need to be more and change with the times. You know, your times with New Day is done. Stop trying to keep that door open. Obviously stay friends or whatever else, but yeah, we need to crack on with this. Like, he's got so much potential, and I feel like he's wasted otherwise. So yeah, that's fine. And I made another analogy in my notes as well. Shawn Michaels wasn't still hanging out with Marty Jannetty when he went solo. He buried that guy, literally. So yeah, he needs to not so much do that with New Day, but he does need to move on. He needs to just be Big E. So yeah, moving on to the match. The match was really good. They started out with a kendo stick fight. I didn't quite understand the match. It was a Wakandan match or Nigerian match or something. I don't know what they fucking were going with calling it that. But yeah, they smashed each other with some kendo sticks at the beginning. That was interesting. Flying spear from Big E through the ropes to the outside. He had a great offense. And yeah, it was a really good match until an 8-foot tall Umaga wannabe came in, thumbed Big E, and chokeslammed him. Is this Umaga's son? Is he even a relation to Umaga? Am I just saying that because he looks a little bit like him? I don't know. His attire sucked though. He had like a General's thing on. He looked like he was at a really bad fancy dress party. But an interesting prospect, so I need to know who this guy is. So yeah, that was fun. And the match was good while it lasted. I gave it an 8.3 out of 10, especially for the surprise ending because no one saw that coming. So yeah, that was not quite the debut, you know, as we would have had with Kane back in the day. Ripping down cell doors, but it was good for a big guy. He came in, looked impressive. So moving on then, we've got Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. I always want to say her name wrong. Like that's not how I would spell Oscar. But yeah, I guess she's, yeah, different country, different pronunciations. Whoever the singer was for Ripley's song was awful, by the way. Okay, awful. Like absolutely awful. It was horrendous. I'm into heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal. Throw it at me, heavier the better. But she was awful. It sounded like the mic wasn't working. Then it sounded like her voice wasn't working. I don't know who she was, but yeah. Anyway, that's fine. So yeah, there was that. Now, because she got the live performance, I was like, she's won the Royal Rumble. Sorry, she came second in the Royal Rumble. She's getting the title fight anyway. She's got a live performance coming into WrestleMania match, but the champ doesn't. well, now I know that Ripley's going to win the belt. And she did. So, yeah, that was kind of a weird move by WWE to not give them both a live thing, just to kind of keep you guessing. It kind of just gave you the answer. So that was weird. But yeah, so there was that. It was an okay match. It was kind of a beat down from Ripley's point of view, I felt. There was a little bit of back and forth. The match was okay. There didn't seem to be much chemistry between the two, but both are talented. So I'd like to see Ripley now go on and fight somebody else, and hopefully she can find that connection. As everybody knows, you know, you've got your Rock, but you need your Stone Cold, and vice versa. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and actually Shawn Michaels with anybody is fine. But you know, you got to have that rivalry to get established, and I think she'll find that eventually. She'll find her feet, but it wasn't bad, and they gave her the belt early, so they obviously believe in her. I actually gave the match a 6 out of 10. It wasn't too great. So that leads us to the main event now. Triple threat Universal Championship match. Edge, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. I mean, I'm not a big Daniel Bryan fan, but all three guys are top wrestlers, regardless of who I like personally. And there was a great build-up to this match. Daniel Bryan obviously feeling like he should be getting the title shot because he technically made Reigns tap. Fantastic, simple story writing, but it's effective. That's where they smashed it in this card. It's where they have the simple storylines. And yeah, they were effective. And then obviously Edge being crazed, you know, coming back from injury. I felt sure they were going to give it to Edge. I really did. I thought Edge was going to win. And Daniel Bryan, I just can't stand this whole yes thing. Maybe it's for the kids. If so, then I get it a bit more, but I don't get it as an adult. I really don't. It's weird to me. But anyway, so Daniel Bryan came in, did his yes. Edge comes in, and the intensity on that guy's face. Like, I don't know if any of you have seen this TV show Vikings, but he's actually in that in the last couple of seasons. A very good actor, and his intensity and his acting ability is amazing. And this clearly meant a lot to him. I genuinely thought he was going to win. I really did. How wrong I was. But yeah, it gets me pumped up, and that intensity really transcends through a TV screen. So I imagine what that would be live would be phenomenal. But yeah, so Roman Reigns took forever to come out. I thought there was going to be some sort of storyline there where he wasn't, and then at the end he was going to interfere in the other two and take the win, but that didn't happen. I kind of thought that's where they might go with that. So yeah, so the match started as a handicap match. You had Jey Uso outside. He was super kicking the shit out of everyone, and I was like, oh, is this really how it's going to go? Edge took Uso out, which was fine. He got completely obliterated and escorted out of the arena, so that was fine. Edge and Reigns tried to spear each other at one point, which was crazy. They just collided, and that was cool. It was an original idea. I hadn't really seen that before. Quite a few original ideas in this match, actually. And yeah, as soon as they hit each other with the double spear, but it was more of a shoulder collision, the crowd started chanting, "This is awesome." And yeah, it was that point you saw when, yeah, this is a good fight. Regardless of the little weasel, Daniel Bryan scurrying in to try and steal the win. He needs to stop with these yes kicks as well. I know he's not going to. I know this is me hating on him, and that's fine. But dear God, stop. I can't stand it. So cheesy and corny. But anyway, there was a point as well where Reigns uses Bryan as a weapon, which was pretty funny. Powerbombed him onto Edge. And I was like, oh, that's quite an original idea. I think it's been done before, but still fairly original. And yeah, a lot of high spots. There was a double crossface at one point. They both had Edge. No, they both had Reigns and a crossface, which was really interesting. I didn't even know Edge used a crossface, but as soon as you saw Daniel Bryan coming in, you were like, oh, they're going to go for this double crossface angle. That's fine. That's funny. A little bit corny, but it was funny. Didn't take away from the match. And there was 2 spears and a 2 count. And I thought that was it. I thought Edge had won. He thought he had as well. He went spastic and started smashing everyone with a chair, which was great. Great television. His intensity was immaculate for this match. Like, I really bought it. Uso returned to stop the onslaught. Edge takes out Uso again, and then Reigns ends up pinning both guys after a savage chair shot. They were setting it up earlier. I think Edge was setting it up, and then Reigns took a leaf out of his book and did it to Edge. They had him resting his head on the chair, and then they hit, and it makes for a really good visual, although obviously he's probably not even touching the head because it's made chair on chair that makes it sound so good. But it's a good visual, and it sounds really good. And then he dragged him on top of Bryan, who had already been destroyed by Edge with a chair anyway. It wasn't the finish I was hoping for, but it was still a decent finish nonetheless. So I gave that an 8.8 out of 10. So with that, that brings us to the end of WrestleMania. We flew through part 2 today just because there was less to go over. It was just the matches. And yeah, overall, I think I would give the event an 8.9 out of 10 for WrestleManias. It was good. It was a lot better than last year. Night 2 was head and shoulders above night 1. So Sunday beat Saturday. Yeah, it's because I watched it today and it's Monday because of the UK time. It's throwing me off. But yeah, anyway, so night 2 was superior. And oh yeah, overall, really good card, 8.9 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the matches. If you had any, you probably disagreed with me, and that's absolutely fine. I'm open to talk about it, and I want to hear other people's points of view. So leave a comment down below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We are doing a giveaway. Might take us a while to get there, but the comments will lead to potentially winning the giveaway. So yeah, make sure you are dropping a comment anyway. But I'd love to have some back and forth on this. It's been a while since I've truly got back into wrestling, and I feel like I'm there now. I watch it consistently, the pay-per-views anyway. I don't always tune in to SmackDown and Raw, but the pay-per-views I have watched religiously, so I am on top of it. But yeah, I'm probably going to do more of these. These are quite fun to do. And yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one. Peace.